thought that love could grow into the hatred we have here. Now I'm giving up, giving out with nothing to win. See the fire in your eyes, I can see the devil in your eyes. Said I'm giving up, giving in, giving out with nothing to win, baby. See the fire in your eyes, I can see the devil in your eyes. I can see the devil in your eyes. I can see it now. The devil in your eyes. Oh, yeah. Demon, those light eyes.
Hey, happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys. How you doing? Nice to see you. Cheers. Oh, it's nice. Nice to be here. Thank you for coming and thank you for watching. This is Homebrew Wednesday number 10. Oh, I don't know what one it is. But it's the 2-year, I guess what you would call sort of anniversary Homebrew Wednesday. And, you know, I did have something different planned and it didn't pan out. But I'm not going to tell you what it was because I'll do it another week. It's just that what it was supposed to be was I had to get my wife to drive me somewhere and so that I could do this particular thing. And she got sick. So I couldn't really work that out. So this is live. I can see the chat room. Although I'm not looking at it, I can see it, but I'm not reading it at the moment because what I'm going to do, but you guys are welcome to go ahead and blast away all the text you want. That's fine with me. That's what we're here for. I'm going to do my normal Homebrew Wednesday thing. And then after that, I'll look at the chat room and we'll answer some questions as sort of a Q&A session live. How's that sound? So the reason why I decided to do it live this week is because, well, first of all, like I said, the idea that I had lined up didn't work out. And so last night I thought, well, I'll just record something and I'll just explain to them I'm sorry. My wife got sick. She couldn't take me, you know. And I decided to do a Justin TV broadcast. And I thought to myself, shit, what am I going to do about my Homebrew Wednesday? Because usually I record that on Tuesday nights. So I thought, well, you know, I'll just do it live on YouTube. That'll be cool because then, you know, I won't have to record it. I won't have to record it and then edit it and then upload it, you know, render it and all the stuff that goes into making, you know, videos. You guys who make videos, you know what I'm talking about. And it's, you know, that'll be kind of easy. You know, I'll just do a live thing. They'll appreciate that. And it'll be different and a cool way to celebrate 2 years of Homebrew Wednesdays. Well, let me tell you. Let me keep my eye on the time, too, because I would like this first segment to stay within the 20-minute mark so that we can sort of do the normal thing. So, yeah. Let me tell you. It's a lot more work setting up a live thing like this than it is to just record a damn video and edit it and upload it. It's not like what I do on Justin TV. There's a lot different things I had to set up. The live thing is very quirky. I had to set up an entire new system to do it. Not a new computer, but a new like encoder and everything. And anyway, so it's not any less work. So trust me, I'm not getting away with murder this week. this did take me a few hours to set up, and now here we are. So, again, I'm drinking what is this? Oh, this is just a Cooper's IPA. I got neat stuff coming up. So this is just a to fill in between batches. I hope my audio and video are okay. And let's, if it's not okay, please somebody type in caps in the chat room in nice big capital letters. Craig, we can't hear you, can't see you, whatever. And I'll glance over and I'll see the capitals. Please don't do that unless there's a problem. Because if I see capitals and there's no problem, I'll hit you in the head. Now, so this week I wanted to go on a couple things. I was listening to one of my fellow home brewers, Dan. I think he calls himself Dan ABA on YouTube. He gave me a link to a podcast. It's the Brewing Network. You know, most of you guys have listened to the Brewing Network, and sometimes they have John Palmer on there and Jamil Zainasheff and other brewers, sort of famous home brewers. And they had this little contest, and Jamil made a batch of beer, and this other guy made a batch of beer, and they brought it in, and everyone, tried to vote, and whatnot. I'm not going to go through the details. It was an hour and a half, podcast, but they didn't tell anybody how they made the beer. It was just up to everybody to just go ahead and taste it. Now, at the end of the day, although Jamil's beer didn't win the contest, he explained that the reason it didn't is because when he was making the beer, he grabbed a bunch of hops that he probably shouldn't have used. And that's what gave the beer its sort of off, weird flavor. There was nothing wrong with the malt. There was nothing wrong with the process. He just used the wrong hops. And he liked the beer, actually. But some of the other guys preferred the other beer, which was, from the other guys' beers. But Jamil went on to explain that, I used the wrong hops, but if you concentrate on the head retention, the malt profile, the fermentation, everything went well. The beer fermented beautifully. I just used the wrong hops. And he admitted that. So then he went on to tell everybody, this is how I did it. And guess what? This is what he did. Jamil. Okay? The guy's got like 3 Blickman, he's got, this whole garage is full of, brewing stuff. The big stuff with the big pots and the stands and everything. He didn't have time to really go and make a big batch of beer. So what he did was he took his carboy. He got, you're gonna laugh at this. He got 2 cans of pre-hopped liquid malt extract. Mr. Beer liquid malt extract, which is basically Cooper's. He poured them through a funnel into his carboy. This stuff's hard to pour, but he got them in there. He didn't even care about rinsing out the cans or anything like that. He threw some hops in there, and then he added cold water. Actually, I think he added cold water, stirred it all around, got it to dissolve, and then 3 days later, he threw some hops into dry hop, and then when it was done fermenting, he bottled it. Didn't boil anything, didn't heat anything up, nothing. And that's how he made his beer. And he went on to say, and this is weird coming from him, but if you can listen to the thing if you want, I'll put a link down below in the comments section after this is done, because you'll be able to watch this rerun of this if you want to later, or if you can't, if you've missed it. I'll put a link to the podcast. He went on to say, don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't make damn good beer from these kit cans. I think he called them kit cans or can kits or something like that. Pre-hopped kit cans. He said, don't let anyone. He says, the reason why people have such a stigma about these cans is that a lot of beginner home brewers, they get a can of this stuff, they dump in a crap load of sugar, they don't sanitize properly, they don't ferment it at the right temperature, they used crappy yeast, and that's why they get crappy beer sometimes. He says, if you do all the right things and you pay attention to your fermentation and your sanitation and everything, he says there's absolutely nothing wrong with these canned extract, pre-hopped extract kits. Now, I'm sitting here going, listening to this, And I'm going like, can't say I've ever heard this before. No, I'm sitting here going, I mean, I got chastised years ago for brewing these kit cans or whatever he calls them, and it's kind of refreshing to hear a guy like him say, hey, these breweries that make these canned kits know a thing or two about beer, and they know how to make this extract and how to make this good wort and condense it down so that you can bring it home and use it in your batches. Sure, he does all grain, he does extracts, he does mini mashes, he does all, and we all do that. Well, some of us do that. But he was demonstrating a point. Guys, he said, I didn't have time to make a big batch of beer. I was at work. I used the facility where I work. He works in a brewery. He used all his own equipment. But he brewed it there in their environment. He says, I just didn't have time to pull this together. And you guys, I know you would have been mad at me if I didn't bring a beer into this podcast. So here it is. And some of the people that were there actually did like it. It's just the hop thing, he threw in the wrong hops, and he admitted that. So it was really refreshing to hear. And he went on and on and on about these, again, I'll put the link down below, about these pre-hopped can kits. And you can do a lot with them. So, don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't make good beer out of those. And I'm sure most of you agree. And he urged, he says, you all grain guys, you guys who have expensive setups and everything, go and buy yourself a couple of cans of this pre-hopped extract and brew them. Add your own hops if you want to, boil if you want to, but give them a try. You'd be surprised. So that was very refreshing to hear that. And again, I've been advocating that for years. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Smart or anything like that, but it's just nice to hear someone else who's got a reputation for home brewing say that. And it just sort of confirms, I think, what a lot of us have discovered. I think a lot of all grain brewers have as well discovered over the years that, you can make good beer in a lot of different ways. Fermentation. You've got to ferment it properly at the right temperatures with the right yeast, with proper sanitation. The rest of it is pretty much, you have no control over that when you're doing these cans. But anyway, that's that. I didn't want to go on too much about that. We've talked about that lots of times. Cheers. Oh, thirsty. The other thing that I want to talk about today, and I'm keeping my eye on the time. Normally I get to edit these things and I can stay within, and I'm already 16 minutes in, so we'll probably make this 30 minutes, and then I'll go on and answer some questions from the chat room. As you know, some of you may know, I bought a new turntable, and it finally arrived, and we've been playing with it during the broadcasts, on live JTV broadcasts, and my whole thing was to get this thing and set it up properly. These things are and this is beer related, by the way. You'll see why. Okay, just bear with me here. These things are very fussy. I mean, when you're taking pieces of polyvinyl styrate or styrene or whatever these are made out of, and you're putting these on a turntable and you're slapping a needle down on it, and then you start hearing this beautiful music coming out. It's a wonder that it works at all, really. But you really have to take some care to set them up properly, which I did, and I made sure that everything was aligned. You've got to make sure that your cartridge is properly set up inside the head shell and adjusted. You've got to have proper tone arm height. You've got to have proper weight bearing down on the needle, all this stuff. And so I did all that. And then I started digging around online and reading different things in different forums. Forums, yeah, my favorite. And no, you'll see why. And these guys were talking about tone arm lengths and different measurements of this and azimuths of that, and they got me I got this a few years ago. I printed this. It's all wrinkled now. But this is called a protractor, a turntable protractor. And you basically use this to line up your cartridge properly so that it tracks the records properly. And you don't get distortion. And, there's two little spots here. You put the needle down on these and you make sure it's lined up and straight and whatnot. So that's what I used for my old turntable and for this turntable. Well, then I go online. I hear all these different, alignment procedures and all this kind of stuff. Okay, fine. So then I downloaded this one. It's the same idea, but it's slightly different. Slightly different procedure. You put the spindle here. You put it on the turntable, and you put your needle down and you line it up, and you tighten the cartridge down. Oh, well, that's not good enough, because for this particular model of turntable, I needed this one. This is especially made for Techniques or clones of Technique turntables. Mine's an Audio-Technica. So I'm getting it. I'm lining it up with this. You've got to line it up with this little X there. Then you've got to make sure it follows the arc going across. Then you've got to make sure it hits these exact spots. You've got to adjust it. And I had my cartridge in the head shell like this, so I had it all moved forward, and I had it all crooked and everything and screwed in. And like, what the hell, And long story short, turns out that I had even though it was all crooked and weird and, I'd gone through all these hours of fiddling about with this stupid turntable. Turns out I got the exact same alignment that I did when I first put the thing together, when I first got the turntable home. After all that fuss, and the forums were full of all this information, and you got to do this. One guy was saying that his turntable wasn't level because his house is old and it tends to settle at different times of the year. So he has a little trouble leveling his turntable, which it's important that the things are level. I understand that. Another guy says, well, go under your, if you're willing to crawl under your house, presumably they don't have a basement like this. If you're willing to crawl under your house, get yourself a little joist and just hike up the floor just right in front of your turntable, and you can level your turntable that way. And so that you don't have to worry about it being level. I'm like, really? Wow. I mean, why don't we just build another room under the house for the turntable? I mean, it got to the point where I just thought, man, you guys you've probably heard of monster cables. You ever heard of monster cables? Really expensive speaker cables that are supposed to make a huge difference in the sound quality of your stereo system. Unless you're running 100 feet of cable, I really doubt it. I mean, you can beg to differ, but one guy, when I was young, he gave me these 4-foot monster cables, and he said, hook these up to your stereo, and the difference will be night and day. So I ran home with these wires. I was 18 years old. I ran home. I thought, oh my God, I can't wait. Hooked them up. Sorry, I don't really hear any difference. I hooked one speaker up with the monster cable, the other speaker up with the normal wire. Tried listening to them. Sorry, dude, I hear nothing. These people, I think, in situations like this, I think sometimes, and hey, no discredit to these people who are trying to get the best quality audio that they can out of their systems. I think sometimes it's placebo. They do this little tweak, or they move this little arm, or they, use a different wire or something, and they put the record on and they go, oh, wow, that just makes the world of difference. I think a lot of times, at least sometimes, it's them kind of obsessing and OCDing about it and feeling like they've done everything they possibly can to get this thing to work the way it's supposed to work. Everything they possibly can. They've slept upside down in a closet if they had to, if it meant getting this thing to sound the best it can do. And I saw, a really kind of interesting parallel between that and some homebrewing stuff that I've heard around the internet. Maybe not as much with homebrewing, because the hobby of audio is really bad for this. Homebrewing, not so much. But just be careful when you're out there and you're trying to learn how to mash or how to, steep grains or how to dry hop or how to do, a number of things. Don't get too hung up on these meticulous, jumping through hoops to get things to be just so. Do your best and don't, lose sleep over it. Just do the best you can, sanitize, make sure you do the best you can with your temperature control if you got it. Keep your environment clean. Put a little love into it. And really don't lose sleep over it, because you can get really, I lost 3 hours of sleep over this damn turntable, and it turns out I'm fine. I had it right the first time, So you learn something like that. And so relax, have a home brew, do the best you can with what you've got, and don't stress over these little things. If you want to do them, that's fine. If you want to experiment and see if it makes a difference, if you do a diacetyl rest or a 3-stage mash thing or an overnight mash, or if you want to, whatever. But you don't have to go that far. You can make good beer, as Jamil said, very simply and easily. So that is my spiel for today, and that's 25 minutes, give or take. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm not going to end the broadcast right now. I am going to move over to my computer, and I'm going to look in the chat room, and if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to respond, interact. Any questions you want to ask me, we can do it live right here. I've got time. And if somebody wants to call in on Skype and talk to me live and be on the air, if you will, more than happy to do that. Not a problem. We can go as long as you need, as long as you want. It's really for you, okay, guys? And I appreciate you being here. For all you guys who are only interested in the Homebrew Wednesday portion of this, we're out. Thank you for watching. Cheers, and we'll see you soon. Be safe. Take care. All right. That's the part where we usually fade out, but we didn't fade out. All right, guys. Well, I hope that was all right. That sort of would have been what I would have done if I had just done a recording of it. So you kind of got your normal Homebrew Wednesday thing, which, would have been kind of a letdown considering it's 2 years. And that's why I decided to do it live. So I'm going to put my goggles on and move over to the computer. I didn't see any capitals in here, so I'm glad. Now, there is about a minute delay between when I speak and when you hear what I say. Okay? So you're going to, when I'm watching the chat room, it looks like a chat room, doesn't it? I mean, it's basically, to me, it looks like a chat room. But I don't know what it looks like to you guys. Are you typing at the side of the screen? Yeah, you must be, because that's the way I'm seeing it, and I'm just watching it the same way you are. So, yeah, 17. It does look like just a chat room. So, I may do this more often now, because of the complexity of, how difficult this is to set up. Belt drive, direct drive, friction wheel drive. Okay, I'll talk a little bit about that. S-arm or straight arm. What is your choice back then? Okay, I will talk about this. Just give me a minute. And don't forget that, as I'm talking about something, the chat room might go up and I might miss something. So if I miss something, I apologize. But, and again, I'm about a minute behind for you guys. So for me, the chat is going to be about a minute behind of real time. Due to the complexity of how I had to go through to set this up and how I was not even sure if it was going to work, I chose just to sit down in front of the camera. But it wouldn't be that difficult for me to point the camera over to there and actually do a live brew on YouTube. Sure, we can do it on JTV, but this is YouTube. Not everybody is on JTV. And so this is, sticking close to home, if you will. And we could certainly do that. Live brew on YouTube. Now that I know how this works, we could do that. Yeah. Okay. So the question was, turntables, belt drive, Well, I had a belt drive turntable. The very first turntable I had was what's called a rim drive. And it's cheap stuff. It's the inside of the turntable, the inside of the platter. There was a motor shaft and a rubber idler, they call it, like a rubber tire. And then the motor would turn the rubber tire. Then the rubber tire would turn the turntable platter around from the inside. These were terrible. They were noisy and they rumbled, and you just don't want them. It's really, really cheap stuff. The next one, direct drive turntables. If you're going to buy a direct drive turntable, this is true back then and same with now, you got to get a good one, because direct drive turntables can have noisy motors. And so you need to get a direct drive turntable. Direct drive means that the motor is directly connected to the spindle of the platter, and it turns the platter at the right speed. So the motor's not whizzing around real quick and then it's geared down to the speed of the platter. The motor's turning at the same speed as the platter. It's like a quartz-controlled motor or whatever. So if you're going to buy direct drive, back then I preferred belt drive, because belt drive turntables are very quiet, because the motor is suspended on rubber, suspension thingies, and then there's a belt that goes around the motor, and then that goes around the platter. So the platter is kind of isolated from the motor, and so they're very quiet, but the belts wear out, and then you've got to find a new belt for your 20-year-old turntable. And that isn't always easy. So back then I preferred belt drive, but today I prefer direct drive as long as it's a good quality one. And even mine here, modest turntable. The motor makes a little bit of noise, but it doesn't really get picked up by the stylus, which is lucky. Let's see, Craig, I'll answer that in a second. S-shaped tone arm versus straight, doesn't really matter. S-shaped tone arms are shaped that way to avoid resonance, but there are straight tone arms out there that are made of different materials that can also avoid resonance as well. Okay, Craig, given that many of the brew tubers cite you as the influence to build their community, well, thank you. Why do you never comment on any of their YouTube videos? Well, I do sometimes, but there's so many of them out there, and really I'm so busy answering my own comments and questions and emails and personal messages and everything like that, that it's very difficult to spread yourself out that thin. There are occasions when I do pop into a person's video and place a comment. I do watch a lot of homebrewing videos. It's not always possible to, if you saw the amount of messages I get, and I have how many videos? I mean, I've got like 300 and something videos. Most of them are getting comments on a regular basis. So if you do a little bit of math, you can just imagine how many comments I'm going through every day to try and make sure that people aren't, trolling or anything. It's a lot of work. And so that's why. Is it important to have... Okay, I'm going to make one... if ascending... Okay, hang on. Let me go back here for a sec. We're going to end up getting behind. How long do you let your coopers... Hang on a second here. Hang on. What's happened here? I've got to scroll back. It doesn't let me scroll back because it gives me a thing. Hamster drive. Hi, Craig. How long do you let your Cooper's IPA stand before you drink it in a keg? I've been known to leave it for a week. But it depends on how long it sits in the fermenter. If it sits in the fermenter for a week and a half, then when I keg it, I can carbonate it overnight and drink it the next day. So it just depends. Okay, let me see. This isn't as easy as the JTV chat room. If you try to scroll back in the comments here, you'll see what I mean. It gives you a... Once you take your mouse off the scroll thing. If I wanted to send you something, where would I send it? You got to send me a personal message, and I'll do a little background check to see who you are. Not like I'm not the NSA, but I'll look on YouTube and I'll check Facebook and whatnot, just to see if you're legit, which usually people are, and then we'll work something out. Okay, Mr. Canada here. Is it important to have sanitized bottles dry before bottling? No, it's not important. Just, you don't want water sitting in them, but no, it's not important to have them dry. Sanitize them with your Star San and then go ahead and bottle. Cheers, Craig. Hello, everyone. That's not such a bad lag. Okay. Let me see. Okay. What else here? We have answered that already. What sanitizer are you using? Okay, there's obviously internal things going on in the comments there. Okay, they've seen a pause. Now everything floods in like crazy. Let me see. Craig, have you ever tried... I may miss something, guys, and if I do, I'm not trying to nitpick through. Craig, I just finished a batch of orange melomel, but it has a weird, almost mouthwash-like taste to it. Well, when I made my melomel, I described it as tasting like a woman's leather purse or something. It had a weird flavor like that. But if it was it could be an infection, but as long as it's not tasting horrible, you can still drink it. Besides, it may age for a while. Have you ever tried a sour beer or experimented with Belgian or Saison yeast? No, I have not. I haven't. I have had sour beers, but they were infected. What does 17 mean? Well, 17 means cheers. And it was originated from a guy called The Maniac on YouTube. And he basically, it has to do with a race car thing. And I don't know, one night he just decided to raise his glass and yell 17 because it's number 17 that his uncle used to root for in the NASCAR races. And I guess it just caught on. And it caught on before I even knew about it. I didn't know. I had to ask the same question. I was like, why, what's a 17 thing? And it was explained to me. And now, of course, it's just caught on like wildfire. But yes, people do wonder about it because it is an odd number. It's 17. And, sometimes people think that it means it refers to an age of somebody, particularly, female. And in that case, it could be construed as a bit of a problem. But it has nothing to do with that. It just means cheers, bottoms up. And that's all it means. It means lots of things, actually. It could mean, like when something really awkward goes on in a chat room, somebody might say 17 just to sort of reset everybody. And, it's like, all right, guys, 17, we can stop talking about that now. Okay, Craig, you are my brew hero. Okay, hang on. I've got oh boy. What the heck? I've got to go back. Let's see. Where the hell is this? Sorry. I'm okay. Craig, you are my brew hero. Well, thank you. I would love to try one of your brews. Well, a lot of people would. That's the problem. Is that if I send send it to one person and then all of a sudden people are like, well, where's mine? And I want to try one. And so I have sent some out. I have sent some beers out. I don't like sending them out of the country because oftentimes they get confiscated. Okay. So I really can only send them within Canada. I might be able to send some to the UK or Australia or something, but I haven't tried that. And it's just a matter of, there's so many people out there who would like to drink one. And not only that, but not all of my beers are, they're not all fantastic beers. I mean, I wouldn't send this beer out. It's just a Cooper's IPA. I didn't even do anything to it. So there's nothing to send out, really. But when I make a nice beer, not saying this isn't nice, but you know what I mean. It'd be great to send one out to somebody, but I get worried about people getting angry or upset that they didn't get one. So I have to be careful. Okay. If you want to try one, there's a recipe on my website, craigfaraway.com, for the Craig Tube Porter, as it's been called. If you follow the recipe for that and do everything the way I did it, you can taste one of my beers. That's one that I came up with myself, more or less. Let me see who else we've got here. Neumann microphone. No, it's a MXL 990. But Neumann microphones are great. Okay. Let me see. That's funny. I'm seeing older posts here right near the end. Why don't I? Okay. Okay. Hang on a sec. Let's see, Craig, you ever fancy? Well, let me make sure I get back far enough. I don't miss something. I'll try to keep the answers quite short if I can, just to make sure that I don't miss things. Pat Max brew hat caps are great. Yes, they are. Okay, cheers. Okay, 17 Brew Crew. Hey, Craig, I'm here. Any more Craig Tube Kitchen? Yes, absolutely. If I can get my kids to keep the kitchen tidy. Because every time I go in there to make a video, I look around and I go, oh, I can't do video in here. I got to clean this up. And by the time I clean it up, too tired. But yes, definitely. I love doing Craig's Kitchen videos. So, Mr. Canada, I answered that question already. The dry bottles before bottling. Gold. Is it no rinse, then no issue? Yes. If you're just using Star San, just use it and then dump it out and do your bottling. Use 400 grams per liter, which gets expensive, but totally worth it. Okay, that's obviously someone else's answer. Store any full kegs out of your freezer? No. I don't brew that much in advance, usually. Craig, you ever fancy brewing a smoke beer? I did do a smoky porter a while back. I put some smoked malt in it, but I don't know how smoky it tasted, really. Craig, why don't you wear your glasses all the time? I don't like wearing glasses. I find them uncomfortable. And these are drugstore glasses. They're not even prescription glasses. I have prescription glasses, but they're not right for my eyes anymore. I was supposed to get more, but I didn't. These are good. I wear these usually when I'm puttering around stuff. But I don't wear them all the time because I can't stand... I just hate wearing glasses. Always have. I'd rather walk around half blind than wear glasses, I guess. Let me see. Craig, have you dry hopped yet? No, I haven't, and I've got to try it. Stupid me. I have not dry hopped. Oh, God, there goes a whole shitload of comments. I've got to keep up here. I'm going to do it soon. Somebody sent me some fresh hops, well, leaf hops that are frozen. And I want to do something nice with them. I don't just want to throw them in a Cooper's or anything. I'm going to do something. We're going to do some dry hopping. I know I've got to do that. Okay, let me go back here because things are going real quick. Craig, going back to your influence with brew tubers, citing you an influence, will you be making a short vid for the Brewed Palates video project? I haven't even heard of that yet. I think I know what you mean. Yes, I will. Dan ABA actually reminded me of that, and I've got to find his... I did get a message from that guy. I think I know who you mean. He's putting together a short video. Is that who you're talking about? If that's what you're talking about, yes, I do plan on it. Absolutely. I want to be part of that. Okay, let me see. See, now it won't let me move the damn thing. Hang on. I see some of them, but I'm going back. Has a vid on kegs and covers. Craig, when are you going to use that beautiful mash tun again? I've used it more than you think, but I don't know. Probably fairly soon, maybe this winter. All grain brewing is a lot of work, but I have lots of 2-row grain sitting over there that I got to use. I'm probably going to be doing a lot of mini mashes too. I like mini mash, easy. But no, the beautiful mash tun, it's a beauty. I love it. Thanks to Ottawa Tom for sending that to me. How would you go about making your own recipes? Well, I made the Craig 2 Porter, but I did a little research of what a porter is and what goes into it and how much of each thing and whatnot. And I just gathered what I had around. I think also having a program around such as Beersmith or the like is handy. I don't know whether a lot of people actually make up their own recipes. But certainly it's not a hard thing to do. You take some base malt, you throw in some other malt that you're familiar with. You could start with some Crystal 60. You could get a little bit of chocolate malt. You could get some carapils. You could and read up on the malts to see what they do and what they're for, and what flavor they're supposed to lend to the beer, and just put shit together. I mean, it's you can't make a bad beer, I think, unless you really do something wrong. Like if you add too much of something, like way too much chocolate malt, or I don't think you could ever put too much hops in a beer, but that's just my opinion. Let me see. Craig, have you ever used USO5 in a stout? I pitched it instead of the recommended USO4. No, I haven't. It might attenuate a little more, I think, or a little less or something. I think a little more. You might end up with a little less sweetness there. But it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It will be fine. It's not going to end no one's going to die. Your beer would be fine. Oh man, Craig, brew yourself a saison. It'll change your life. I'll look for a kit. I'll look for a Brewer's Best saison if I can find one, and I'll take your advice. Okay, if I can get one, or if not, I'll find out where I can get a recipe for one. Let me see who else. USO5 is frequently used in stouts. Okay, that's good. So he doesn't have to worry. Okay, SJB 17 cheers. Hello, Peaches. Craig, how long do you age your stouts in the bottle, all grain? Well, I haven't made a stout, all grain stout yet. So, but darker beers, you want to age them a little longer than lighter beers, especially if there's not a lot of yeast in them. See, the chat comes in all at once. That's what happens. It's not you guys. It floods in batches. So now I've got to go back. Way back. And I may miss a couple things. Let me see. Comment removed. Oh, that even happens here in live chat. Okay, weird. I'm going back. Craig's... Okay, hang on. Wow. Okay. Craig, is that me? Craig? Cheers, guys. Hi, Craig. Have you abandoned your all-grain adventures? No, I have not. Seems to be a long time since I've seen it in action. Well, I don't film making all-grain beer. It's involved enough without, I filmed one. I haven't done one recently, really. I've only done 4 or 5, but that was back when I first started doing that. I'd love to see Craig Talk revival. Yes, I have a new channel. Well, it's not new, but I've revived my Craig Talk channel. Idea which subjects? Geez, I know. There's lots of things. And some of the things are a little controversial, which is why I decided decided to not do them on this channel. Because this channel has to stay non-conflict, non-controversial. I don't want any, I don't want any more haters on this channel that I already have. Let's put it that way. Okay, so if they don't like what I say on the other channel, it doesn't mean you can unsubscribe from this channel too. That's the thing. Thanks for getting me into homebrewing. You're welcome. Brewer's Best makes a nice saison. Okay, I will look that up. I can get that. Okay, what is your general opinion of craft brewery beer? Well, it depends on the beer. Some of them aren't worth taking a second look at. Others are great. What is the shelf life of homebrew hard cider? God, I've left one out of the fridge half full for 2 months and it was still fine. So I don't know. Craig, simple question. How much PSI do you put on your Cooper's IPA? Well, you can put about 30 to 35 pounds on it overnight in refrigeration at 40 degrees. No. Yeah, at 40 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit. And that does nicely for 24 hours. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go get another one in a second. And if it still isn't carbonated enough, you can do the little shake for a couple minutes to see if you can get more. See, when I take my mouse off that little scroll thing, I lose my place. Let's see. Steve James Barr, how are you, man? Brew Wednesday's JTV cast. See, I can't play music on here. That's the thing. I won't be doing that. YouTube will not like me. I thought I saw some customs official somewhere drawing a Okay. How can I make my apple wine have a stronger apple taste? What you can do is you can get some potassium sorbate, and when you're done fermenting, put in a little bit of that, maybe a half teaspoon or something or whatever, depending on how the volume of your wine, and leave that in for 24 hours to kill the yeast, and then you can back sweeten it with a can of concentrated apple juice. And it won't ferment because you've killed the yeast. How long can I cast on Google tonight? Well, I can do it as long as I want, but I don't want to do it all night. My raspberry banana mead has no undertones of either fruit, only an overwhelming alcohol note. Do you think it's the lalvin? A lot of times, if you want a fruity wine, you do what I just described. You back sweeten it. Some of these really sweet, fruity wines, they come with the stuff to make the wine, and then what you do is you kill the yeast, and then they come with a separate little container of concentrated flavor stuff. And it's like a syrup, and you pour that in, and that gives you your flavor. Yeah, you're fermenting a lot of the sugars out with that. There's a lot of things like, invert sugar that you can add that won't ferment, but I can't say. I haven't really done a lot of experimenting with that. Okay, just make... Yeah. Well, Camden is sodium metabisulfite and potassium sorbate, yeah. The wine kits come with those. You should be able to find them. Do I have to degas mead? I doubt it. Not because it sits for so long. I don't know. Because you're not really adding any preservative, like any thing to it to keep it safe from oxidation, so I wouldn't be sloshing it around too much, right? Okay, let's see. Maybe you do have to degas it. I'm not sure. I've only made one batch of mead, so I. Okay, Craig, will you do a turducken for Craig's Kitchen? I'd have to know what that is first. I think I've seen it, but I can't remember. Okay, so some people do degas their... You don't want carbonation in your mead or wine. That's true. Unless it's made to be carbonated, but you don't want that because it adds a burning on your tongue. And it helps with clearing and aging. Yes, it does if there's no carbonation in there. Absolutely. Let me see. Okay, from the pop shop. Okay, so what happens now? Okay, so I let go and I got a whole slew more. Okay. Start with an existing... Craig, I used USO5 in a stout I sent you. Oh, in the stout you sent me. Okay. I don't recognize the username, but if you told me your first name, I'd sure I don't. But you don't have to do that in the chat room. So one of the stouts that you sent, that I've been sent, had USO5. And for the record, any of the stouts that I've had sent, and there hasn't been all that many, but any of the ones I've had were great. So I wouldn't worry about it. USO5 in a stout. Okay. All right. So I'm at the bottom of my page here. So I have to wait for more to flood in. So why don't we wait? There they come. So why don't I go get myself a refill, guys? I'll be back in 2 seconds, and I'll continue. I'll continue with this live Q&A. Okay, right back. Just hang on. I think I may look into a thicker glass for this particular beer. A chicken and a duck and a turkey. Oh, God. Good luck me finding a duck somewhere around here. Okay, let's go back. Holy cripe. Okay, I got to get through these. Oh, I'm seeing some of these, and I'm going to be in trouble. Yeah, there's a lot here. I'm going to go through these as quickly as I can, okay? I'm not going to give detailed answers, because there's a lot here. Start, okay. You ever find with gelatin? I've used it a couple times, and for some reason I did something wrong, and I could not get it to do anything. But I'm sure there's a way to do it. I think I heated it up too much, and it started to turn into Jello. Oh, you first time catching one of my live videos. Yeah, good. Thank you for being here. Dry saison yeast, Craig. So, okay. If I can't find it, well, I'm hoping that the Brewer's Best kit comes with the appropriate yeast. If I can find that, I'm going to make this a little higher here. Sorry, excuse me. Have I ever used wild grapes like muscadine grapes to brew wine? No, I brew wine from wine kits usually. First Craig Talk video going up. I was actually going to make one tonight, but I'm not sure after this. I don't know if I've got the energy to talk on it anymore. But it's soon. Listen, I'm going to make a video My son told me not to do this on CraigTube. He said, don't put a video like that up on CraigTube. You're going to lose subscribers. That's why I made another channel in the first place. I'm going to make a video about conspiracy theories. I'm not going to talk about specific conspiracy theories, but I know you know what they are. I know what they are, and I have an opinion about them. And so I want to talk about it, and that's all. I'm not going to talk about specific ones, and you know the ones that are out there that are really prominent, you know. I'm not going to go into detail about any specific conspiracy theory. I just want to talk about them in general and why we have them. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I also want to talk about the nature of sound and light. I've done that before, but I want to do a better video on that. Sound and the nature of sound and the nature of light and our senses and how we perceive the world. I want to do something on that. What is your take on people who only brew to win medals? Oh, sorry, I skipped one. Craig, will you be doing any more music stuff? You had your Behind the Song series. Any more music plans? The Behind the Song series, I got nailed for 2 of those videos on YouTube being copyrighted. And they're my own songs. So I gave up on it. I gave up on that. Because I can't have strikes against me on here. I'll lose the channel. I don't know whether it was the graphics I used, or sometimes there's false positives on the song matches. But no, I'm not doing that because I don't want to risk problems. And I haven't got time to contact YouTube, prove to them that's my material and all that stuff. Craig, what is your take on people who only brew to win medals in homebrew competitions? Oh, by the way, pertaining to that last question, I don't write a lot. I've written some lyrics lately, but I just, it's time. I don't have a lot of time to compose music as much as I used to, but I still play around with it a little bit. People who just brew for medals, I've never really thought about that. It's not something I would do. I think it can be fun to enter your beer into a competition and see how badly you did, or how badly you do, or how well you do. People who only brew to win competitions, it seems a little chauvinistic or something, I guess, or in the case of a man anyway, it seems a little competitive that you would only brew to come out on top in a competition or win a trophy, which is what a medal is. It's a trophy to show people and hang up. It's great that people win and they have fun at it, and you meet lots of great people out there on those things. And it's fun. But that's as far as I would ever take it. I would never endeavor to be like, out there cutting people's throats, trying to win all the time and only brew for that reason. That's just not for me. Can you do a turtucken? Well, I think I answered. Maybe some of these questions are coming up twice by accident. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to do something like that because I don't have all the duck. I don't have I can't get duck very readily around here. And I don't know how to do it. So that helps if you know how to do something. Usually the recipes I do on Craig's Kitchen, I've done several times. So I'm not going to do something for the first time and act like I know what I'm doing. Craig, I'm a beginning brewer. I'm making a blonde ale at the moment. What is the beer you recommend I make for I don't know what kinds I like? Well, sounds like you're doing the right thing by making a blonde ale. Don't touch lagers unless you have a cold place to ferment them. And just stick to beers that don't have a lot of hops in them unless you're used to hoppy beers. I'm not sure if you're kit brewing or if you're all grain or you're extract brewing or whatever. Stick to, if just whatever kinds of beers you like. Well, you don't know what kind you like. Well, that helps. Yeah, that's a bit difficult. Go to the store and buy some different kinds of beer. And bring them home. Look at Beer Advocate to see what people say about them. Give them a whirl, and then you'll know what kinds of beers you like. Because they'll describe it on Beer Advocate. It'll start what kind of beer it is and whatnot. How about an Oktoberfest style and then record it? I suppose I could do that. I'd have to get a recipe and go for that. These are things that I could put on my list of things to do, I suppose. Although it's not October anymore. It's kind of a little late. Do I take donations? Well, I don't have anything set up to do it. But if somebody wants to do that, they can contact me on YouTube, personal message me, and I'm certainly not going to, I'm not going to, push you away. Let's put it this way. I don't ask for I don't ask for donations, no. I don't have a thing set up on my page to accept donations. I don't have a button that says donate. I think I can't bring myself to do something like that. But with that said, I have received lots of things and donations for things. I received donations for this turntable I just bought. I didn't ask for them. People were kind enough to contact me and said, "Craig, what's your PayPal? I'd like to send you, That's very kind of them. And I can't even think of a way to thank those people. I appreciate that greatly. So thank you for asking, and that's really the best I can do for that. The short of the answer to that is sure I do, but I don't ask for them. that's the thing there. Okay, Craig, congrats on 2 years. God, I know I'm so far behind in this. You guys are going to be sleeping by the time I get through it. Congrats on 2 years Homebrew Wednesday. My wife and I really enjoy your videos. Thank you. You are an inspiration to us and our brewing. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Cheers. Cheers to you too. When's the Imperial IPA getting brewed? Yeah. I got the same question. I'd like to brew it this week. Today's Wednesday. Friday's out. I'm probably going to start getting prepared to do it. I have lots of preparation to do. I have to figure out how I'm going to film it and stuff. It has to be soon because I'm running out of beer. So don't you worry. It has to be soon. A beef Wellington? I could look it up, I suppose. It's not something I've done before. Citra Hop IPA? Oh, I have used Citra Hops and I love them. They're awesome. And I would use them again in an IPA for sure. Can you use malolactic bacteria with your apple wine? I don't know. I don't even know what that is. Hey, Craig, enjoy all of your Homebrew Wednesday and your search for vintage vinyl. Yes, it's fun searching for vinyl. Now I'm searching for another cartridge because the one that I've got is absolutely fantastic. And it's a Stanton L720E. You can't buy them anymore, and you can't buy the needles for them anymore either. So I'm panicking because when this thing wears out, I don't know what I'm going to do. Craig, you convinced me to give a wine-making beer brewing a shot a couple of years ago, and I've never looked back. Thanks. You're very welcome. Awesome. I'm glad to be of service to you, sir. I'm going to do something here briefly, and I don't know what's going to happen. But this is for my own benefit. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know what this is going to do. Okay, if you see an ad come up, that's me. I did that. I don't know what... I've turned my ad blocker off, so I don't know what is going to... What? See, I've got the wrong thing on my screen there. That's supposed to be this. I'm sorry, you guys are probably wondering what the hell... There we go. So I'll say live on air like that. So I'm just waiting to see if this ad comes up that I supposedly inserted. Because, I mean, that's, that is, the ads are well, let's put it this way. They're there for a reason. That's as far as I'm going to go. Not allowed to talk about it. So, well, let's see if there's okay, let me go back here and do some more questions. I don't know what what's going to happen here. Give me a second. Let me get some motion lotion here. God, it's so far behind. I'm watching myself here. I even look younger. So far behind the videos. I've aged since then, by the way. Seriously. No. Let me see what happens here. My hat is supposed to be blue, by the way. But it's coming out gray. It is blue, by the way. But this camera isn't very good at. So I'm not seeing any ads or anything come up. I don't know what happened there. Did you guys see any ads? I don't see any ads. And I turned my ad blocker off. Maybe it does it when you play it back or something. I don't know. All right, well, let's get back to the chat room. Not too concerned. I just thought I'd see what happened there. Okay. Yeah, Citra hops are great. So I can't. Oh, geez. Just trying to get to where I left off here. You can use... Okay, somebody's answering that. That's good. Hey, Craig, enjoy all your Homebrew Wednesdays and your search for... I read that one already. Okay, if not, please try it. Citra hops are the best. Dry hop with them as well. The smell is... okay. Your show just saying hello, hello, hello. Which should a homebrew beginner start with? Beer, wine, or cider? Well, I don't know. It depends on... They're all pretty easy. Beer is easy if you make it from a simple beer kit. And they come with instructions, so they're not hard to do. Wine is easier to make than beer. Wine is dead easy if you do it from a wine kit. You can't... I don't even think you could make a mistake if you did it in your sleep. What style of beer would be best suit Golding hops? Kent Golding? I actually don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry. I don't know. I haven't used them a lot. They're probably great in lots of different beers. That's the best I can do. I don't know for sure. If there's a specific beer that goes well with them, I'm not aware. I don't know everything, you know. Wine cider is easier to start with. Yeah, I agree with that. So, somebody says beer, though. Beer's easy, too. But it's just that, you know, beer's temperamental. Wine is not. Wine just works. Ever brewed a 1 gallon batches to test different recipes? Not with beer, I haven't. No, but I don't know why I haven't. It seems ridiculous to take some 2-row. You could do an all grain, 1 gallon all grain batch of beer to try stuff. Okay, chicken stuffed into duck stuffed into turkey. Yeah. It's a chicken in a... Okay, so we're getting multiple... It was a stout from Sweden. Okay. I know there's a video on YouTube about it. But I don't particularly remember like the exact flavor, and I'd have to go back and look. Oh, here comes the next batch of comments. Okay. I brew 1 gallon kits from Northern Brewer. This was happening. Yeah. How did you guys get notified of this? I sent out a video, and I know that you might have got notified by that. But did you actually get an email saying that there was going to be a live event from me? I'm curious what they do, what YouTube does when I set this up. Personally, I started with cider, then wine, then haven't done my beer. Craig, sorry, I'm reading them quickly, but I'm trying to answer them. Craig, what are you going to be posting more homebrew videos? Are you going to? Yeah, I will be. I promise. I know they're a little less than they used to be, but my life is a lot more complicated now than it used to be, too. Kids getting older and a lot more goes on. Thoughts on Toronto mayor smoking crack? I don't know. Probably not a great idea. Probably not a great role model for kids either. I don't think that that's a good idea for a role model like a mayor to be smoking something like that in public, or at least being publicly known to do so. Are you still drinking the Cooper's IPA? Yes. Try all grain recipes from Homebrew book. Nice. Okay. Close for bittering and use Fuggles for aroma. Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize, I could have, yeah. I didn't really take that question from that perspective, like which thing to use the East Kent hops for, whether to use them for bittering or aroma. Yeah. They are a high alpha hop, so you'd want to use them for bittering. So I agree with that. I've got with Pat's caps, and they seem to be working great. When are you going to do your review of those? I need a holiday. I'm going to do it. I shouldn't be doing this tonight. I should be doing a homebrew video, right? Let's see. Pat Max homebrewing caps video. Yes, you guys are dying to see that. That'll probably be the next video you see, actually. Gelatin really does take time to work. Bentonite seems to mostly clear in like 30 minutes. Gelatin such as I just use isinglass usually if I'm going to clear something. Isinglass. Or you get those other ones that there's two of them. You put in one and then you wait an hour, then you put in the second one. I forget what they're called, but my double-fisted, no, not at the moment. I actually have a lot of stuff to do tonight, so I'm taking it easy on the beer as of now. Craig, do you ever make it to the U.S.? Not lately, but I have been there many times. Craig, I made my first batch of cider, but even though it was relatively clear and with no sediment, it still had a strong yeast taste. How do you prevent this? Maybe don't put as much yeast in. And it will clear out after a while, too. Depends on, I don't know what kind of yeast you're using. So, let's see. Oh my, look at all this. Okay. Woo! They flood in like crazy. We didn't land on the moon. Oh God. I'm not going there. Actually, we don't know if we did or not. That's the thing. That I'll go as far as to say that. And the reason I can say that is because I wasn't there to see it happen, and I don't trust the media. But and I'm sort of half joking with the I don't know thing, but I don't. Do you? All right. Dinosaurs never existed. Yeah, well, I wasn't there either, so I don't know either. Although we found bones, I think. Yes, I have 6-year-old. Okay, JFK. Oh, God, here we go. I'm pretty sure I know who shot JFK, but whatever. It wasn't who they said. That man would have been a great president. He was going to fix things, and somebody didn't want that, so... I think John Lennon was also a bit of a threat to the establishment, and that's why he got knocked out. Because he wanted peace, not war. But as I said, not on this channel. You guys can talk about it all you want, but I'm going to stay away from it on this channel. Checked out the development site. No. No, I haven't been to my messages. If you want me to check something, please leave me a personal message, and I'll definitely give it a whirl. I haven't. I need a secretary. It's as simple as that, you know. Okay, cheers to you guys who are heading off. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to be that much longer, actually, because no one's going to watch a 1 hour video of this. Craig, what do you think of those beer geeks? I don't know. What beer geeks? What's the difference between a Pilsner and a lager? I believe the lager would be brewed at lower temperatures, and it has more of a distinct flavor than a Pilsner, which is just a very clean tasting beer. Still brewed at relatively low temperatures, but it's not as... It doesn't have that characteristic that a lager has. Take a Skype call. Well, if you want to call me on Skype, let me know. Let me get through these comments. Well, here, what I'll do is I'll start up Skype. Which means I got to... Oh, no, I don't. Okay. And like I said, I can't be here all night. I did a live show last night on JTV, so I did turn Skype on, and we can take short calls if you like. Yeah, TG T-shirts. You got it, man. You got the right. He's got the right idea. In the chat room there. I have mine on. Where am I here? Oh, that's the first time I've seen that. That's weird. Yeah, there we go. I got my white one on. Okay, I'm going to take a call. Hopefully this works. Hello.
Hey, seems to be working.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Good. What can we do for you? Now, this isn't JTV, so we'll keep these, as short as we can,
Yeah, I'll just start with the question. Yesterday I went out to my brew, had it on there for 2 weeks, finished fermenting, and I found that all the star sand that was sitting in the blow-off tube, like in the bottle, is all sucked into the fermenter. Is that still going to be fine to drink?
Absolutely. Yep.
Like, probably a cup of star sand. Like, it's been sitting there for a fortnight.
A cup? In what tube is this?
Like I have a blow-off tube into the bottle. I don't use airlocks.
A blow-off tube. Oh, okay. So you sanitized it and you put star sand in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You had star sand in the bottle that you put your blow-off tube into, and it got sucked into the fermenter.
Yeah.
And you think it was a cup worth?
Yeah, probably about a cup.
It won't hurt you. It won't hurt you at all. It's just like pouring a cup of water into your beer. So,
it's not like, that the yeast would use that star sand if it's still in the...
Yeah, it won't hurt your yeast. There's not enough of it there. The pH isn't going to be... It's not going to be at the right pH to hurt your yeast, but your yeast will enjoy the star sand wonderfully, beautifully. They will thank you.
It had finished fermenting before it sucked up, anyway.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think it happened... I put it on to cold crash, and I think what's happened is, because the CO2 layer on the top, what's happened is when it's got cold, that's all gone into suspension and sucked it back to make it suck back down.
Yeah, that happens. You got to be careful of that. Yeah, no, you're fine. Don't worry.
Hopefully
I've heard people on the Homebrew Network talk. They left the star sand in the fermenter. They had like a gallon of it in there or something, and they just put their beer right on top of it, and then oops, and that was before fermentation. So, everything went fine. I wouldn't recommend it, of course, and you don't want that to happen, but it's not going to hurt. You're fine. I wouldn't worry. I would more be pissed off that I let that happen, but I wouldn't worry about your beer. No,
I brewed another batch anyway because this time of year I tend to do 2-week primary, and then I like to do a week cold crash, pull all the yeast out, and then I can carb straight away in the keg.
Yeah.
Just because normally I'll just leave it and let it clear in the keg and just wait, a couple of weeks. I like to get things clear, like really, like all the yeast cleaned out and the flavour's good. I'd rather be patient with it than hurry.
Sure.
It's not a
Yeah.
not a race as far as I'm concerned. But anyway,
Okay. Yeah. Well, I
That's
hope
all right.
that answers your question.
yeah. Oh, I probably was going to drink it anyway because in fact, I've been waiting 2 and a bit weeks for it.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't go dumping Star Sand into your batches of beer. But if you do it by accident, forget about it. It's done. Nothing you can do about it. Just drink the beer. It won't hurt you. It's not toxic stuff. It's food grade. It's not harming. It won't harm you. Okay.
It's more about maybe potential off flavors. Oh, anyway.
No, it doesn't have any flavor to it. I've tasted it. So did the guy who makes the stuff. He tasted it. He drank some. I don't believe it has much of a flavor to it. I would not worry. It's diluted. It's fine. Okay?
Yeah, okay then. It's all good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for the call. All right. Now I'm really behind on my... That's okay. No, that's good. Skype calls are fine. I told you I would take them. Stanley Canuck was... oh, God. Now we've got conspiracy theories in here. That's okay. I won't talk about them here. Yeah, if the tree falls in the forest... I'm going to revisit that, actually, because I can do a better job now when I'm more used to being on camera. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Craig, have you checked out the... okay, that's good. Craig, what do you think of those beer geeks? What's the difference between... okay, good. Take a Skype call. Buy a t-shirt and support Craig. Hey, that's a good idea. How much did the new turntable cost? It was $300. It was $280 Canadian plus tax. And I received $80 in donations for that. Thank you, you guys who did that. I didn't ask. They just sent it. Speaking of which, how's the 8-track recording? It's right here. I use it. It's right. In fact, I was playing this tape the other day. Where is it? The Rolling Stones. This one sounds good. I won't play it. I can't play it on here because I'll lose my... It's copyrighted. But it's sitting right... The camera is sitting right on top of it. And yeah, it's doing great. Thank you. He sent me an 8-track player recorder. And it works. And it's old. And it was brand new in the box. It'd never been unwrapped. And it was from 1970 something. Cool. I'd love it, Craig, if you could do more experimental stuff. Doesn't matter if it was beer, wine, cooking. It'd be fun to learn along. Okay. Do you like East Kent Golding hops? Sure. I like most hops that I've tried. Let's see. Do you like Bob Dylan? Some of his stuff I like, yes. Not all. When he got, I think he had what? He had a head injury or something happened. When he started getting kind of, that's when I lost him. But no, he's great. Bob Dylan's great. He's an artist for sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of him. I just, after a while, he stopped. He kind of couldn't sing anymore for some reason. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. Okay, what else? It looks like we're running out of. Craig, have you looked into Graf yet? It's an apple cider mini mash combo. It originated from Stephen King novel. Would love to see you brew one. No, I haven't looked into it. I'm sorry. Did you guys happen to see the video where I told you how lazy I was? I can sit here and do this all night, but to get up and actually move, that's... No, I will try something like that. It wouldn't be hard to make a 1 gallon batch. Looked into... Okay, what's my favorite movie of all time? Well, that's hard for me because it changes over the years. I mean, it used to be... when I was young, I loved Poltergeist. The first Poltergeist. I loved that one. I watched that a lot of times. Then I saw On Golden Pond. I loved that movie. Then I don't watch a lot of movies really anyway, so I love the Titanic. I thought that was cool. Lately I haven't seen many movies, so I can't say. Today's movies are so fast-paced. It's all explosions and corruptions and, everything else that I'm trying to think of another movie I really liked, but I can't. I mean, we watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High when we were teenagers and stuff like that, and but I prefer musical documentaries myself, like movies about bands and stuff. Okay, let me see what time it is. 10:29. Okay, we'll go for another few minutes. I have to cut this off at some point. I mean, I know you guys just sit here all night long. Let me see. No ads, just motion lotion. No ads. Did an ad come up? I pushed the ad button. I don't know whether it worked or not. Never saw an ad. Okay, well, I don't know how that works. Maybe they only come up after the thing's done. Moving along. Do you think we should start a Facebook campaign to get the Canadian government to cut taxes on alcohol? I think it would be a waste of time. I don't think you're going to get any government to do anything really, unless it benefits them. So, unless you get a lot of people to contact your local municipality and say, hey, we're not going to vote for you if you don't reduce these beer taxes. We're going to vote for somebody else. And then they have to go into Congress or whatever it's called in Parliament and say, hey, we got lots of people banging on our door. They want alcohol. They want taxes reduced. Or I don't think it would work. If it was that easy to get stuff done, this world wouldn't be in such a freaking mess. It's my opinion. That's why we brew our own. Greg, is your son still in the cadets? Yes, he is. If so, does he want to continue on the same similar path in the CF? No, absolutely not. He will not be joining the any kinds of armies or Air Force or anything like that because he doesn't see it the same way. He's not in cadets for the training to become a military person. He's in cadets to learn a lot of the things that they teach them. Survival skills, discipline, leadership, things like that. Respect. He does not believe in war, and he believes that. Well, I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. He just doesn't believe in it, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to put words in his mouth. He may not want me to discuss this at length with anybody, but I'll tell you my opinion on the whole thing. I don't believe in war either, and I think a lot of wars are fought not for the benefit of a country, but for the benefit of certain cartels that make money from the oil and whatnot. And it's my strong opinion that well, that's as far as I'm going to go with that. Okay, but yes, he is in the cadets, but he's not joining any but he's shown an interest in being a police officer, which is fine. I hope. And he's told me that if they make him do stuff that he doesn't agree with, like shooting people's dogs or doing all the crazy stuff that some of them do, then he will pursue another career. Let me see. I'm looking at making a Christmas cider. What would you consider making or have any ideas on flavors or how to infuse the spices into the cider? I've made a Christmas or a holiday beer before. As far as infusing them, Christmas cider. Well, nutmeg, of course, is a Christmas thing. There's other spices. Guys, I'm so busy with YouTube that unfortunately it prevents me from doing a lot of experimenting with these kinds of things. If I was a little more bored, then I would probably have more time to do that. But I have to keep things I have to spread myself around and do as many things as I can. And unfortunately, that restricts the number of things that I can do. But I wouldn't be against trying it. What kind of mass-produced U.S. beer would be considered a hoppy beer? I'm not familiar with the term. That's something that somebody else might want to answer that lives in the U.S. They might know a little better than I do. English-style beer. Canadian alcohol is 49.51% tax. Yeah, yes it is. Where did I buy my kegs? I got them from my local homebrew supplier. He set them aside for me, and when I walked in, he gave them both to me for $50, including the CO2 tank and the regulator. So I didn't order them from somewhere. Okay. Damn tasty. Okay. Okay. Ontario beer keg is a good place to buy kegs. Okay, good information. Ontario. I wish they'd make it easier for me to scroll around on this thing. No, I'm not grossed out by the turducken. I think it would be great. I love food. There's no food I won't try. If it's food, I'll eat it. I swear to God. You guys can. I won't eat a ghost pepper, but there's a reason for that. It burns your mouth off. You just got the video I posted. Oh, you've missed. I didn't receive an email about the cast. Well, that's why I do the video beforehand and I put the link in there for you guys. And that could be my fault. I don't know how to instigate you guys getting a notification. It's also something you may have not turned on in your settings. You got to go to your YouTube settings and go to email and turn on where it says send me notifications when somebody does a live broadcast. Okay. Wow, I'm in the mood for an egg salad sandwich. Seriously, I just got a craving. A Pilsner is a lager, yeah. But there's a slight difference between them. A Pilsner doesn't have as much of a flavor as a lager does. Am I correct about that? Just for my opinion anyway. Are these in order? I'm getting some of these from way back. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. No, I love food. I don't ever think I won't try something. I'll eat anyone under the table. Not amount wise, but like I said, if it's food, if it's under the classification of food, I will. Unless it's a chocolate covered friggin' cockroach or something. I don't know if I'd eat that, but that's just getting silly. Have I kept a brew log or kept track of all the brews you have made? A lot of them are on YouTube, luckily enough. I used to keep one. I used to keep a calendar, but I don't anymore. Because I got tired of typing the word Coopers. Is that a pigeon inside a turtle? Okay. He got an email. So if you want to be notified when I do these things, go into your YouTube settings, go to email, and turn it on check it off where it says, send me notifications when a live event is scheduled or something like that. Make sure that's turned on. And I'll still send out the promo email anyway, or a video. Okay. So, Max, I make it with apple cider, lemonade, orange juice, and pineapple with some cinnamon and clove. That sounds good for a Christmas thing. In fact, I might try that myself. Yeah. So make sure you turn that on. Okay, I'm going to stop the chat. I'm going to go into a call here. Got a Skype call from Seven Hunter. Hey, Seven, how you doing?
How you doing, Craig?
I'm just fine, sir. What can we do for you?
Hey, mate. I was just asking. I noticed you pour a lot of clear beer out of your keg, and I'm just getting a lot of cloudy beer out of time. So I was wondering if you could tell me how you get your beer so clear.
Time takes time. Oh, you got to turn your volume down there. This isn't that clear, but it takes a couple of weeks. That's all. I mean, this isn't perfectly clear, but it will be in a couple of days, probably pretty clear. Now, this is a Cooper's kit. I can't guarantee that this would be clear if this was a, with grains and hops all thrown in it and all that kind of stuff. That takes a lot longer. In which case, you want to get a Whirlfloc tablet and throw that in near the end of your boil. That will help.
Okay.
Can you get Whirlfloc tablets?
Yeah, we've got some good hungry shops.
So if you're putting stuff in particulates in your beer like hops and grains and things like that, because grains create like floury kind of dust. It comes out through the bag when you're steeping and all that. Or
usually I throw together a kit and kilo kind of thing, but I also do special extracts. And
I'm actually wondering if the Cooper's yeast has something in it that helps it clear. I don't know for sure, but it seems to me that these Cooper's kits clear quite nicely.
Okay, yeah, they do. When I bottle them, they're great because you've got the sediment and you leave them for time enough to settle. But I guess I'm just being a little impatient.
And I wouldn't worry about clear beer. I would not concern yourself whether it's clear or not.
Well, see, I still drink it either way. It's not really about whether or not I like it clear. It's more the people that I want to share it with. Some of them just turn their nose up because it's cloudy. You know how it is.
That's more beer for you. That's what that means. That's what that means. And no disrespect to those people, but they need to get over it. Really. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm a bartender by trade, and I tell a lot of the people that I serve the swill to that it's just rice water they're drinking.
Yeah.
And they go, really? And then they kind of look at their beer and go, and they shrug their shoulders and they just drink it.
They just drink it because it looks great. You could swim in it, yeah.
And it's overpriced, $4.50 for a pot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, not everyone drinks beer for the flavor, anyways. I mean, they're catching a buzz, and that's what they do. And again, it's a stigma. You don't want to walk into a beer as a man and order a glass of wine. It just seems kind of, you're with the boys and you don't drink wine, you drink beer. There's a whole cultural thing behind it. Unfortunately,
yeah, I always have to chuckle at the blokes when they order a shandy.
Yeah. No. So, yeah.
I guess when they're drinking such a crappy beer, they may as well make it taste better somehow.
Well, it kind of speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Volumes.
Yeah.
Volumes. So,
yeah.
I'm during my afternoon listening to you. Great impromptu little live cast, mate, and congratulations on your 2 years.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
I've got to go to work and serve the drunks in about an hour.
You just gotta keep one behind the bar for yourself. That's all.
Oh well, yeah. I wish. It's all right. I've got my keg should be covered by the time I get home.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
okay.
Thank you very much, and I'll be chucking the sickie on Saturday so I can listen to your cast.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Take care, mate.
Take care. Okay, let's get back to the... Now I'm really... Do I use the kit yeast? Often I do, but I will tell you that I don't think it's the best yeast at all. But it comes with the kit, and it's you're paying for it anyway, so I do use it. So some guy, when DC Holmes says, I never get notified other than we were post-announcing this event. It kept checking back until there was a link. Yeah. All right. Well, obviously that's what I have to do is do that for you guys when I do this. Okay. Let's see. Add the event to Google Calendar. Me? Yeah, but not everybody's linked to my Google Calendar, though. email account and set it up for the notification. I don't know. YouTube is supposed to send you something, but I didn't even get one on my other email account either. Okay. Thank you, Rick, for stopping by. He's probably gone already. Discuss all this conspiracy theory stuff on your other channel. Well, no, I don't. I don't want to talk about, specific conspiracy theories because I don't. What I'm going to talk about is conspiracy theories in general and why we have the term conspiracy theory and why we have conspiracy theories and whether they can be trusted or not. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the moon or JFK or 9/11 or whatever. All these, I'm not going to be specific. But you'll see when I make the video what I have to say about that. Because I think too many people turn their noses at conspiracy theories because they are called conspiracy theories and that's a bad word. And then I think too many other people get hook, line, and sinker into them and they go crazy with it. And I think either way is not a good thing. But we'll talk about that on another video. Okay, I'm going to go down the list one more time, and then I'm going to probably end the cast and the broadcast because I do have to go. The channel's called Craig Talk, my other YouTube channel, by the way, Craig Talk, CraigTalk. Please subscribe, and you can listen in on what I have to say. And if you don't like what I have to say on there, which I'll try to make it as friendly as possible, but there are things in this world that aren't nice and aren't comfy and cozy to people, and some people might get upset. And if you do, please don't unsubscribe to my CraigTube channel because I'm not going to do that on this channel, and I won't touch on that stuff on here. Although I sort of just did, didn't I? But I mean, that's as far as I'll go. Pilsner is a lager. Okay, I've seen that already. I don't know. I think some of these come up twice for some reason. I can be your assistant. Just need a corner of your basement and a few home brews a day. If you make the home brews, yeah, we got a deal. Only one video on my other channel. I don't even think there's one video on that channel. I erased them all. I'm interested in brewing a beer with mostly fruit, spices, and hops. Well, you brew what you want. Sure. Not sure. Okay, sorry, no problem, mate. Occasionally. What is the other channel you're talking about? That's Craig Talk. Okay, Okay, yep, sorry, I missed things. I do. Craig Talk. CRAIG. So it's youtube.com/Craig Talk. And again, don't hold it against me if I talk about something on there that you don't agree with or something like that. I have opinions on things just like everybody else, but it doesn't mean I'm right? So I did a chill haze with my current bottle days in the fridge. If I leave them alone for a while in the fridge, will they eventually clear? Yeah, probably, maybe. But again, chill haze is not a big deal. Who cares? Who cares if there's chill haze? It doesn't, Other channel. What other channel? Okay, yes, I've had a failed batch because of a sponge too. Keep those sponges clean or get rid of them. I have yellow sponges and blue sponges. The blue ones are for cleaning my equipment, wiping out fermenters. The yellow ones are for cleaning up nasty things. And they get taken away. Or poured some bleach or hot water on them or something. So you keep two different colors and you don't get a problem. Okay, do you like Gordon Lightfoot? Absolutely. Love his stuff. Okay, here comes more. But they're slowing down, so that's good. And there are answers in the chat room to some of your questions as well. Would it be a good idea to add fruit preserves to the boil? Fruit preserves? Be careful what's in those fruit preserves. There might be preservatives in them, which you don't want. Because some preserves have sulfites, I think. Hi, Craig. What's your favorite Rush song? I'm digging La Villa Strangiato. Got introduced to Rush late in life. Great band. Well, the go-to Rush song is Tom Sawyer. I love Limelight. I love Permanent Waves. What the hell's the song? The very first song. La Villa Strangiato is great. I love the car. Red Barchetta. Also, Spirit of Radio. Yeah. So stuff like that. But, I don't like a lot of the new Rush. I like their anything after not Power Windows. Hold Your Fire. Anything after that, I'm a little, not quite sure. So Pectin, yeah. Yeah, doesn't Pectin add some sort of oh no, that's for distilling or something. You got to be careful with distilling certain things with pectin in them, I heard. Or no, that's not what it is. Oh, never mind. Forget that. Scratch that. Edit that. That's another whole topic I was reading about, and it had nothing to do with distilling. Okay. Gotta go back. What's your favorite? Okay. You should see the movie Corrupt Explosion. You guys should watch the movie Thrive. It's just called Thrive. What in the world will it take, or something like that? But you just go to YouTube and type in Thrive, and there's it's free. It's on YouTube. The publisher has published it on YouTube. The first 20 minutes to half an hour, you might think, "Oh God, what the hell is this?" Stick with it. That part might not interest you much, but stick with it. Watch the movie Thrive. I've noticed that the comments are way out of order. Yeah, I noticed that too. Bugs are food, actually pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. I'm sure well, we eat animals. Why wouldn't we eat bugs? I wonder what a beer with chili pepper would taste like. Chocolate covered. Yeah, see, these are things I talked about. Pot is not legal in Canada, no, although they don't bother us. They don't bother people who smoke it. They don't care. I have a ghost pepper in my fridge. I will not touch it. Somebody sent it to me. It's there. I don't know what to do with it. Okay. All right. I am going to stop looking at the chat now. Hello. I know there's more questions in here, but I've been on here for 3 hours, almost. So I'm going to spend the last part of the broadcast just saying a few things, and I'll finish my beer. Take off my goggles. So, you guys can continue to post comments if you like, and chatter amongst yourselves. I want to thank you for being here and for watching. This again, there's absolutely nothing saying that I couldn't do a live brew this way. I can do it on Justin TV as well, but this is more accessible to my YouTube subscribers because you're here already. I just can't play music on this thing, that's all. Unless it's my own music. But even then I get in trouble sometimes. But now this is a great way to do a live thing and to have you guys be able to chat away in there, even though they seem out of order a little bit. But so listen, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Thank you for sticking around and watching. And we will see you guys next week on Homebrew Wednesday. And hopefully we'll see you Friday. Thought about taking a break from my live broadcast this week, but I'm not sure. I may still be there. I probably will, knowing me. But I really appreciate your support. I appreciate all your kind remarks. And your questions were great. They were awesome questions. And just keep on keeping on. Keep on making that beer. Keep on homebrewing. Keep on watching. And I'll do my very best to get more content out for you guys, more Craig's Kitchens, more brewing stuff. Oftentimes I get my brewing area gets cluttered with stuff, and I'm doing different things, and then I have to clean it up. And it's like I don't want to make a video with a cluttered area. So there's a lot of work involved in making them, but I certainly do enjoy it, and it's part of what I do now. So I have to keep it up anyways. It does help. So that's what those ads are for. But I apologize for the ads, and don't do anything out of the ordinary with them. Just do whatever you do with ads on YouTube. Don't click more or less on them than you normally would, because you don't want that. And please turn off your ad blocker when you watch my videos. That's all I ask. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna head out. Thanks a lot. And I hope you enjoyed the cast. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Go to justin.tv/CraigTube and follow me there. That's where I do my Friday night live show. Streaming music and great content and great tunes, Skype calls, lots of good times. I'm sorry, I've only been here for 2 hours, not 3. That's my mistake. I'm sorry. Getting all mixed up here. And if you want to buy a t-shirt, tgtshirts.com. I'm wearing one right here. There's another style there. There's 2 different styles. There's a white and a black. You can go there and you'll see them. And they're there for you if you so desire. And I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, guys. And we will see you on the tube. Cheers and be safe.